What's up, YouTube? Trying to do a live stream here. Trying to get this text-to-speech. Got a different program to try and use. Does not look like it's working still, so. Oh, yeah.
An example of speech synthesis in English. This is an example of speech synthesis in English. This is an example of speech synthesis.
All right, trying to get this text-to-speech program going. I was using speech chat. For some reason, I can't get it to load anymore. So I ran the live stream yesterday without it, and it was pretty much boring and a disaster. So trying to get this new program up and running here. Let's see if it's gonna work. Does not look like it's working. So, still working on this text-to-speech. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it to run here. Getting ready to head out. I'm in Ottawa, Illinois right now. Stopped off at a Walmart to stock the truck up for this week. Mess around with this for another minute or two. If I can't get it, I'll just run it without the text-to-speech program again. Oh, geez, Knicks or Spurs. I thought for sure OKC was going to be in it, so I'm going to go with the Knicks. Hello, everyone, if you're joining in. Getting ready to hit the road here. Trying to get this text-to-speech program set up. Still not working. I got this different program to use, and yeah. It's super cool when I can do the text-to-speech going down the highway. I'm able to communicate with everyone then. And don't know why it's not. Oh, maybe because I don't have my hotspot turned on. Alright, let's try this. And it's still saying I'm... Oh, there we go. Alright, maybe this is going to work. Alright. Alright, let's hit the road. I don't know how well my cell signal's going to hold up here, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to be heading into Iowa here pretty shortly, so We'll see how long we get the stream to last for. Currently in Ottawa, Illinois. Ottawa, Illinois. And let's hit the road. Alright. Hello, hello. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Alright. Let's roll.
At Free said hi.
Hello, welcome to the live stream. All right, let's get back to the highway. So I thought we would talk about some of the technology in these newer trucks nowadays. Got some pretty interesting things.
At Roblox Boy 1219 says, can you give me a shout out, LS? At Roblox Boy 1219 said hi.
Yeah, Roblox boy, what's up, man? Welcome to the live stream. So, going to be getting on Interstate 80, heading west. Try not to run this dog over here.
Right onto West Stevenson Road.
And you got a pit bull running around without a leash there. I actually got bit by a bulldog yesterday. Had some prime rib for dinner.
Boy 1219 says, what semi are you driving? Turn right onto Columbus Street.
I'm driving a Freightliner Cascadia right now, 2023. So, pretty sure I'm going to get a new truck at the end of the year. I usually only keep these trucks to about 400,000 miles or so. I'm at 344,000 miles on it right now. I doubt I'll be working for this company at that point, though. Time to move on. Time to go to the next one.
Now turn right onto Columbus Street. At Roblox Boy 1219 says, nice, my dad, he is also driving one of those in Alton.
Oh, cool. I was driving a Volvo at my previous job, and I don't like Volvos. Did not enjoy driving that one. I've driven Freightliners more than I've driven any other brand of truck, so I probably prefer it, probably just because that's what I'm used to. I wouldn't mind getting behind the wheel of a Peterbilt. It just depends on which model it is. Oh, I got this exit all tore up here.
At Roblox Boy 1219 says, where are you going now?
I'm heading out to the middle of Iowa. Can't remember the name of the town off top of my head right now. I have to look at my paperwork. I don't deliver until tomorrow morning there. So I won't, I'm probably going to stop off 70 miles before wherever I'm heading to is. So edit some videos, play around with some stuff. So, oh hey, and if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please hit that. I'm working on putting together like a daily 3 to 4 minute video from like the start of my day to the end of my day, how many miles I drive, and just kind of do like a video diary kind of thing, and to try and give an idea of what it's like to be out here. I usually come out to work for 6 to 8 weeks at a time. You know, with the hours of service regulations, I try to recap and not take a day off that entire time. So, you know, hopefully by September or so, I'll have enough gear and processes figured out to put a daily video like that together. Just kind of get everybody a chance to get behind the scenes to see what it is we actually do out here day to day. So currently on Interstate 80 heading westbound. Just left Ottawa, Illinois. Been in Iowa before too long here. I can see the camera's a little shaky, so I have to work on that for the next live stream. But just getting back into doing these live streams. I did some late last year, and then I ended up having to quit the job I was working because they tried screwing me out of a bunch of money, and I just couldn't bring myself to work for them anymore after that. So took some time off. Basically run the eastern half of the country right now. I was down in Florida a couple weeks ago. I really want to run all 48 states, so I'm looking to switch companies again here in the next couple months or so. Not sure how well my signal's going to hold up once I get into Iowa. Heck, it might not even work that well on the western side of Illinois here, but we're going to give it a shot. Try to run this for at least 60 to 90 minutes today if I can. If the signal does cut out, I apologize. I'm going to try to do these live streams at least a couple times a week, probably Saturdays and Sundays for sure. If I see any opportunities during the week to do it, I will do that. So the truck I have now is governed at 70 miles an hour, so that's a lot better than 65 miles an hour. So some of the technology these trucks have, and pretty elaborate really, and most of it pretty much plays into companies watching, controlling, and monitoring everything. So most company trucks, especially for the larger companies, most all have a forward-facing camera. So some companies have a driver-facing and a forward-facing camera, and some companies also record audio from inside the cab. They can literally listen into all your phone calls, conversations. Some companies use their ELD tablets to eavesdrop and stuff. So it's pretty crappy. So mine is just forward-facing, no audio that I know of from inside the cab, though I'm always suspicious of it. But these cameras they have wire right into the tractor's computer, wiring harness and everything. So the camera actually does quite a bit. They got AI programs that, like, if I come up to a stop sign and I do a rolling stop, you know, it knows it, it logs it. Some companies are more strict with others on things like that, but they all have, a lot of companies have programs that assess like a score based on those rolling stop signs, over speeds, hard brakes. So not as much freedom out here as you used to have. Everything's super micromanaged now. Unless you have your own truck with your own authority. I mean, you can even lease a truck, buy a truck, and lease it on with one of these major companies, and you still have to run the camera. You still have to be governed to an extent. Hey, if you're just joining in, my name's Johnny Dangerously. I'm an over-the-road truck driver in the United States. Currently run about half the states, mainly the eastern side of the country to the middle, Midwest here. Currently in Illinois on Interstate 80 heading west. Have to make a delivery in Iowa tomorrow morning. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I haven't been putting a lot of shorts up lately, but I have a whole bunch to start uploading. I do put some videos up here and there as they become relevant, and hope to do a lot more with those videos in the future. So please hit that subscribe button. Some of the other technology these tractors have is a forward-facing radar, so I'm able to see how many miles per hour the vehicle in front of me is going, how many feet in between me and that vehicle. If I get too close, there's an audible sound that it makes to let me know I'm too close. It also has a takeover of when, let's say, traffic is stopped, dead stopped in front of me, and I don't recognize it and notice it. This radar will trigger the tractor to apply the brakes, have the computer apply the brakes for me, so you don't run into a bunch of stopped traffic. So a lot of the older trucks don't have those. Car in front of me is going 79 miles an hour. All right, looks like some construction up here. So most companies have an overspeed setting. Most companies I've worked for, as long as you're going less than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, you usually don't hear from them. And my current company's overspeed is 5 miles an hour, so don't get much wiggle room on that. Just actually got a verbal warning a couple weeks ago for speeding and following distance, so trying to be a little better with that. So I've been driving for about almost 20 years now. I had a few years in between there where I was sick and couldn't drive, so, but I'd say I've got pretty close to 2 million miles on the road, so no preventable accidents, one preventable incident in that entire time frame. So currently on day 14 in a row out here driving, so recapping my hours every day. I'm allowed to work 70 hours in an 8-day time frame, and then on day 9 I get the hours worked that I worked on 8 days prior to that. So it's called recap. In order to reset those hours, I would need to take 34 hours off straight in a row. I really don't like to do that. It's just boring. But every once in a while, and it lines up next to a casino or something, we'll go play poker for a day and a half. So.
Over speed limit.
So if you keep hearing that over speed limit, I'm not actually speeding. My tractor navigation thinks the speed limit is 65 here, but my speed is tracked based on the tractor. So there's the camera actually scans the speed limit signs going down the highway. Tractor navigation thinks the truck's speed limit here is 65 miles an hour, and in fact it's 70. That sound you heard is the lane departure warning. If I go left on that zipper or right on that fog line, it'll make a sound to let me know I'm not in my lane anymore. But sometimes it goes off even when that's not the case. There was no line on the right side because of that on-ramp, so it picked it up erroneously. We got brake lights up here. Because there's a cop in the middle.
Over speed limit.
Time to work zone, 5 miles, 19 minutes. What? I wonder what's going on up here. Say it ain't so. All right, truck in front of me is going 71 miles an hour. Kind of curious to see what that 5 miles from 19 minutes is about here. Hoping the sign was incorrect. Whatever sensors they have are read properly. But we're going to find out in a few minutes here. Well, looks like we're going down to a single lane here. That's usually always miserable. So if you're just joining in, currently heading Interstate 80 westbound in Illinois, about 70 miles or so till the Iowa line. Got to make a delivery tomorrow morning, somewhere in the middle of Iowa. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Alright, single lane. Well, I doubt the speed limit's still 70 miles an hour right now. Yep, looks like it's 55. I've already adjusted for that. So I do have a text-to-speech program up and running. Seems to be working so far today. So I'm able to hear your comments as I'm driving down the highway. Usually able to respond, depending on what's going on traffic-wise. So. Well, it does not look like there was a 15-minute delay here like that sign was saying, so definitely a good thing. Pretty nice day out today. A little bit cloudy. Not too hot, not too cold. About 65 degrees right now. I can live with that. All right, I think I might see the end of this construction zone here. Good riddance. So I'm currently on Interstate 80 heading west. Currently in Illinois. Heading to Iowa for a delivery tomorrow morning. I haven't been across there since back in January, February. Had some snowstorms and stuff going through last time I was up here, so I'm pretty happy to not be dealing with that today. Still haven't seen the regular speed limit sign yet, so it must still be 55 through here for no good reason. So I'll be curious to see if Iowa's way stations are open today. I don't run these parts enough to know if they're usually open on the weekends. A lot of times places aren't open on the weekends, so sometimes they are. Cross that bridge when we get to it. I did weigh my trailer earlier. I am pretty heavy, but I am not overweight, so I don't have to try and duck and dodge the scales at all. Still a 55 mile an hour speed limit here. Not sure why it's still 55 through here. Pretty stupid. Well, it would speed up, but my tractor's computer will read that speed limit sign and mark me for overspeed. I can't imagine it's actually still 55. There's no work zone going on right now. But my hands are tied unless I want to get written up. Holy smokes, you can finally speed up. There's a big bolt laying in the road there. Hopefully none of my tires picked that up. Another construction zone in 5 miles. See if they're actually doing any work, or if they just put the barrels up to make it look like they're doing something. So where's everyone watching from today? Where are you guys at? Well, engine breakdown, the construction speed limit here. Going down to a single lane again, left lane's closed. Yay for me. So if you're just joining in, currently heading Interstate 80 westbound in Illinois right now, on my way to the middle of Iowa for a delivery tomorrow morning. Going to be running this live stream for another, I don't know, 30 to 60 minutes or so. Depending on how well the signal holds up, the further west we get here. It may cut out at any given point. If it does, apologize. I used to run regular routes where I was basically running the same highways every day, like twice a day, and I had worked out where the good spots were for signals and this and that, and pretty much flying blind at this point. I run 20-some eastern states, about half the country, Midwest to Southeast to Northeast. So not sure which areas got coverage and which don't, so we'll find out, trial and error here. But thanks for checking out the live stream. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I do post other videos and shorts and stuff throughout the week as things happen out here. A lot of dumb stuff happens on our highways and roadways.
Over speed limit.
No, I'm not. Well, that's the distance warning sound. The car in front of me is going 73. They're currently 285 feet in front of me, according to my radar. Now they slowed down to 71. Well, no, it looks like rain up ahead here. The sky's getting a little darker. Haven't really paid attention to the forecast today to see what's going to transpire, but probably going to find out eventually anyways. Boy, that camera's pretty wobbly. I have to look. Uh-oh. Signal issues. Hopefully it'll hang in there for a while. All right, let's see how fast this truck's going in front of me. I'm definitely going quicker than it. 65 miles an hour. Got that car coming around me on the left. I was just getting on the highway. So you'll hear the distance warning. I'll get close enough where it goes off. You'll see how far I am away when it goes off. And that's when they want me to, basically the company wants me to change lanes. See, right there. Now, in a heavy traffic situation, I think that's just getting over way too early. There's too much distance in there. I'm going to spend a lot more time in the left lane than I really want to. But if I don't move over or slow down, after that beep goes on, and then I'm going to hear about it from my company. So, very, very few decisions do I get to make out here anymore. Everything's so micromanaged. Well, skies are getting a little darker.
Over speed limit. Well, $5.68 for a gallon of diesel out this way. Actually, not too bad. I'm not sure why, but Indiana's been up around $6.50 a gallon for some reason. It'll be $6.50 a gallon somewhere in Indiana,
When I get down into Tennessee, and that same day it'll be like $5.50 a gallon. Stuff's not making any sense out here. And the crazy thing about the diesel prices is when it's like $6.50 a gallon, like big trucks usually get about 7 miles to the gallon, depending on how much weight you got in the box. If I'm pretty light, I might be able to get 9 miles to the gallon. Right now, pretty heavy, so I'm probably getting somewhere between 7 and 7.3 miles to the gallon here. So if you do the math on like $6.50 a gallon, that's almost $1 per mile just to go down the road for fuel. That's crazy. And it's probably only going to get more expensive as time goes on too. Glad I'm not owner-operator right now. All right, let's see, it's the 25-mile marker, Interstate 80, heading west, Illinois. 25 miles of Illinois left until we cross the Ohio line, or the Iowa line, my bad. Curious if any of the weigh stations are open in Iowa. I am not overweight, so, but, yeah. Big bump. Fast this guy's going. 60 miles, 60 to 61. Want this car come around me, then I can go ahead and pass this guy. Well, it would appear he's sped up faster than 61 now.
Over speed limit.
As can be expected. Well, I mean, don't expect any mercy from me if you want to go 61 and then speed up when I change lanes. So, not gonna happen. Well, got some raindrops now. I'm okay with that. I need my windshield cleaned. All right, go ahead and get back in the right lane here. Ah, here comes the rain. Here comes the rain again. I was in Ohio and Indiana and stuff last week, and it just rained and rained and rained and rained. Everything's flooded out that way. Well, I can also see the camera is outside the range of my windshield wiper. Connection issues. Alright, reconnected now. Ugh, more construction. Man. Jesus Christ. Welcome to Illinois. Might qualify for Jesus, some disability after this trip, after this route. Trying to see what all got launched. All kinds of stuff fell off shelves and everything. Unbelievable. Well, getting real close to the Iowa line. Looks like about 5 miles or so. I'm going to wrap this live stream up in about 15 minutes or so. All right, let's get back up to speed here. All right, got a way station in 2 miles. See what they're up to today. So, Illinois is not where you want to get overweight tickets at if you're going to get an overweight ticket. Very, very expensive. Multi-$1,000 fines here. I've never gotten an overweight ticket in Illinois, but I heard when you get one, they don't let you leave until that ticket is paid for. $2,000 to $3,000 fines. Pretty common. This one is closed. Got the car in front of me going 58 miles an hour. Got a truck going to be coming around on the side here. That sound you just heard told me to pull in. Unless this way station's closed. It is closed. And the car in front of me going 62 now. Apparently they just realized when I was barreling down on them that they were driving ridiculously slow. They're up to 64. Pretty sure I can accelerate faster than that car is. 67 on that car now. Oh, I'll flash the truck. He can get over if he wants to, but I don't think he wants to. Alright, car in front's going 69 miles an hour now. 68. And let's see how fast this truck's going. 68, so I'm probably going to have to pass this truck now too. Holy crap. Now that car is going about 65. Now I got to get around both of these. Speed limit. Wah, wah, wah. All right. Cross over into Iowa here. Finally got rid of that white vehicle there. Goodbye and good riddance. Slowpoke. Now the truck's going 57 in front of me. Climbing a little hill here. I'll just hang back. And welcome to Iowa. Gonna have to stop and get some fuel in Cedar Rapids. I should be in about 80 miles or so. But I'm gonna wrap this live stream up probably, I don't know, pretty much the next rest area I can hit. Thanks for joining in. I'll definitely try to be back on with a live stream next weekend. I may be able to come on during the week. Not sure where I'm headed after I make this delivery tomorrow. But please hit that subscribe button. Plan on doing a lot more of these and a lot of other videos. I'll be putting some other shorts up later this afternoon. I gotta edit some footage down from yesterday and today. All right, looks like we got a 70 mile an hour speed limit now. Well, now this car in front of me wants to pass me and get in front of me and slow down. Pretty stupid. Yeah, now they're going to speed up. I swear they do it on purpose. Well, might have a rest area coming up here. That's where I will wrap this live stream up at. Hopefully get far away from this car in front of me. Mumbling idiot. All right, that's going to conclude today's live stream. Thanks for joining in, checking out, everyone. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be back on at least by next weekend, maybe sooner. Have a good day. Bye.